Hello and welcome to New Filmmakers Los Angeles. We're here at NFMLA. I'm delighted to be joined with Bonnie with her fantastic film, April Kills the Vibe. For those that haven't seen it, let's take a look at the clip.
Hey bitch, Happy New Year.
Hey Lola.
Where'd you go last night? You missed a hell of a party.
It's kind of a blur.
Do you have fun with your friends?
Something happened.
Can you just fill me in? What was I doing? You were like killing the vibe.
Bonnie, I'm so happy to have you here. Thanks so much for bringing your film to New Filmmakers LA.
Thank you for having me. It's an honor.
Thank you. I loved your film. I've got so many questions. But for those that haven't seen it, tell us a brief synopsis of your film.
Okay, April Kills the Vibe is based on a true story of an assault that I experienced during a blackout. So there's a lot that happens when these sort of things befall us. In the aftermath, there's a lot of guilt, a lot of shame, and our friends don't always know the right thing to say. So it's about the interaction between April and her friend Lola, and kind of the slut shaming that she faces when she tells her what happened.
It's such a powerful film to watch because it's heart-wrenching. I'm so sorry you had to go through that yourself, you know, and how many people you're helping through creating your film for other people that have been through this experience. Was that kind of something you wanted to sort of do in articulating this story? Because as you know, sadly, some people kind of go through horrible situations and it's unfair. People don't believe what you're going through too.
Absolutely, yeah. And, you know, when I made this film, I wasn't really expecting to have any big revelations about my own experience. I've been through lots of therapy, I've done a lot of talking about it, but it was a very cathartic experience, and I realized that it might actually help someone. I just wanted to make a short film just to see if I could.
Yeah.
And it ended up being something, I think, more powerful than I expected it to be, so I do hope that it can help people.
It's so powerful because it's so real, you know, it really is. I mean, I've been through similar trauma, but it's worse for a woman. It really is.
Well, I wouldn't say that.
I mean, I think in the sense of just how, you know, people are unfortunately shamed, and it's really worse, horrible when your own friends and people don't believe you as well.
Yeah.
I thought your cast were just fantastic.
Thank
I mean, living in like Los Angeles, like this feels like a vibe you experience in all the time, you know, and it was really, really great. How is the process like bringing your whole cast together?
I made this film in quarantine, so my options were limited. I knew I had to have a skeleton crew, and I have lots of very talented friends. I cast actually my own boyfriend to play my boyfriend in the movie.
Oh, wow, cool.
Yeah, I asked him like 5 days beforehand because I last minute changed the script because at first she just woke up next to Grant, and then I wanted it to be a whole thing.
Yeah.
So he delivered, and he's actually won Best Actor in several other film festivals.
Fantastic.
So I'm very proud of him.
Yeah.
Daniel Nguyen is a friend that I had seen on Instagram. He's very funny. He brought a lot of levity to what would have otherwise been a really heavy movie.
Yeah.
And then I ended up playing both characters for the leads.
Yeah.
And you know, I asked a few friends of mine that are actors and stuff, like, is this just like an egotistical, like narcissistic moment?
No.
Is this like not cute? And everyone was kind of like, meh, you might want to try to cast someone. But I was like, I know I can do this. And it was also important to me to play both characters because I've been on both sides of this argument. You know, we never know quite what to say when something horrible befalls a friend. So I wanted to hold myself accountable and also learn to forgive Lola.
Yeah.
The Lola in my life.
Yeah. No, I mean, firstly, again, well done for making this film, and I think, again, authentically, you can kind of tell the feelings of this story already. So it was like, it's LA, you know, it's Hollywood. You can authentically tell this story as well. And I just thought every nuance you made just hit the mark in a way that feels so sadly real. You know what I mean? It really was. But it also, you know, there was elements of just this very kind of like fun kind of LA vibe and experience and like making this during quarantine, dealing with interior, exterior, all this kind of stuff. How was that from a production standpoint?
Well, I've done a lot of music videos over the years, so I kind of know my way around a set. And I also have a very bright and colorful home to begin with.
Yes.
So I shot it in my living room, and then I shot the bedroom and the kitchen scene at my boyfriend's apartment. So I was just real crafty.
Yeah.
And I styled everyone myself. I catered it myself.
Oh, you
I
did so
set dressed
good.
everything. So I just kind of used the materials that I had at my fingertips, just do what you can with what you got.
Well, I mean, the production design was just like, I mean, it was amazing. I just
Thank
love
you.
the scene. Just everyone's just kind of chilling after the night before. It really just gleamed off the page,
Thank you.
really, really well. But then I think when there was, the intimate moments with your character and what she was going through, like that was, it just felt very personal and deep and a very different effect that I thought
Thank you.
went very well. What was that experience though like being, because I mean, you're used to being, behind camera and knowing your way around the set. What was it like being in front and behind in that similar context?
It was really difficult to direct myself. That was one thing that I learned because I don't have time to watch every take back to see if I got it. Directing other people is a lot of fun and very easy because I can see what's happening. But if I were to do something again, well, I mean, I plan on doing other things again where I direct myself, but I have to allow myself the time to watch things back. Obviously, you can't watch every single take, but just to know that I got it. Because there were some things that I was like, I wish I had done that one more time, but I didn't know because I didn't see it,
What was it like? Like, I'm so glad you made this story because I think it's got, it's obviously personal, but it's also really universal of what a lot of people go through. Did you kind of have an idea of like what you kind of wanted your audience to sort of almost experience and take from this as well? Yeah,
it's funny. When I showed it to a few friends, guys and girls who are allies and who understand, who have been through similar situations, it was funny. Some of the reactions that I got were exactly the reactions that I got when this happened to me, which was like, oh, I was on April's side until Lola talked about all the slutty things she'd done in the past. And then I was like, well, maybe. And I was like, oh, so now maybe she deserves it. It was almost like having to re-experience that trauma all over again.
Yeah.
So I think I'm hoping that it will just open a conversation for people to really look at who's to blame, because the whole thing is about Lola blaming April and April blaming Lola, but at the end of the day there's only one person to blame, and that is the perpetrator.
Yeah, exactly. And it really shouldn't you find out who your true friends are as well, people that are there for you in the darkest of moments as well, and kind of how difficult it can be, even when you're in a relationship and all that kind of stuff. I just thought there was so many dynamics that worked really well together that was really, really great. So I mean, let's not hide the fact that you're one of the most, iconic songwriters, and you've made incredible work up till now. And we've got many fans in the room and people that'll be watching this. What's the journey been like moving into, making your own film in this kind of context? How's that experience been?
It's been so much fun to be able to write something longer than a 3.5-minute sparkly pop song. I love pop music, and I love the challenge of trying to get these big emotional ideas into little tidbits for pop radio. But it was really fun to continue the story and have several different story arcs and different characters and be able to tell a story from more than one perspective. And my favorite part of being in the music industry has always been making music videos. I realized I kind of had to sit down with myself, I think we all did during the quarantine, and think about what really makes me happy. And I'm happiest on set. I love being on set. I'm a very visual artist, and so it was really fun to be able to get my hands on every part of that.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's such great to bring the visual art that you have naturally, and then bring that to to film in a narrative perspective, and it just makes me excited to see much more of your work as it develops, because you've already got that gifts and skill set to do as well. So with that kind of being said, how has it been like sharing a film in this context around the film festival? So how's that been for you?
So exciting. I really, honestly, I made it. I originally wanted to make the short film just to see if I could, direct, to see if I could produce it and act and do the whole thing. I'd done a little bit of acting in the past, but I really just wanted to throw my hat in the ring and see if I could even do it. Originally, I made it just for my acting reel. I was just like, I'm just going to write a scene and whatever. And then once I finished it, I was like, maybe I could get it into some film festivals. I really didn't think that I would get into any, so I just submitted to all of them. And then I had my work cut out for me because I kept getting into film festivals and I kept winning awards, and it was
when you got it, you got it.
Well, thank you. I mean, it was just nice to know that I'm not delusional, and that I have another creative outlet that I can tap into.
No, most definitely, and I just think that again, it's a short film, but the journey your character sort of went on, and just that, I thought you you know, it was carried really wonderful. So well deserved on that.
Thank you.
So Lisa, what is next for you? What's next on the horizon?
Well, I'm back in the songwriting game. I've been doing a lot of that. And as far as the film and TV stuff, I would really love to make April Kills the Vibe into a series. And I want to base it in the music industry. So,
yes.
you know, April is based on an experience that I had. So it would be about my experience being a recovering addict in the cutthroat music industry and what it's like to be a woman in that world. So I've made a deck, and I'm learning all the ropes about how to pitch things, and I'm just a rookie. It's really fun to be a rookie in a new industry, by the way.
Yeah, of course.
So yeah, that's the goal.
Oh, I'm so excited for you, and I think I think there's a lot of things that haven't been uncovered enough of what goes on in the music business, and I've got that part of my world as well, and it's a lot, and I'm really happy that this is going to develop into something as well.
Fingers crossed.
I mean, fingers crossed. No, wonderful. But I'm just like, in your career thus far and things you've experienced, you know, and we've got a filmmaking kind of audience, an artistic audience. Do you have any kind of advice that you sort of go by that kind of keeps you motivated? I mean, you've had such a great career, but like, is there anything else you could share? Yeah,
I would say, stop waiting for someone else to do it for you. If you want to do something, do it yourself. If you want it done right, do it yourself. This film is a perfect example of that, of me just being like, oh, well, I just have to wait for a director, or I have to wait for someone to give me money, or whatever it is. And I just was like, I'm doing the thing. And I don't know, it's been extremely rewarding. And also empowering to know that I have the power to manifest something and create it out of thin air, you know? So you don't know unless you try. So just get out there and get it done.
I love that. And you can take on many roles. You can be in front, you can be behind, you can do it all. And I think that's really great. Well, listen, thank you so much for bringing this film to us. Thank you. We're so excited to see it develop, and welcome to the New Filmmakers family.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
Thank you.